I was like, they totally love her more than me.
I thought you were too cool for me. Our in-laws suggested a double wedding.
She must have noticed my attention fade. She reached out. You're not gonna know what's coming next. Hi.
Hey, it's Sarah and Beeston, your Fairly Odd Sisters.
Woo! Yeah!
Please don't make me do it again. Are we on?
We're on. We're recording, Sarah.
This
is it.
This is the pod.
This is the pod. Welcome to, should we say it at the same time?
Yep.
Ready?
The Fairly Odd Sisters.
Guys, this has been a long time coming.
We are happy that you're here.
If you're listening, we love you. We have been wanting to do this for a really long time, so I thought we'd do like a little intro. Do you think we should introduce ourselves a little bit?
Definitely.
Okay, so I'll go first. I'm Beeston, and that's all you need to know. Just kidding.
We want to know everything. We want to know your favorite color. We want to know
everything.
What makes you Beeston?
Okay, I guess we can just talk about like how we got into like the influencer world kind of a thing and why we're doing this pod. So we started back in, 2017. I was filming weddings full time, and I was also posting like Instagram stuff, trying to make cute, like trying to just get more video clients, to be honest. Mm-hmm. And then things just spiraled, and I definitely was posting and stuff, but it was just weird how it kind of took off.
I don't know about you, but I did not ever envision myself doing this or sitting here or having like the amount of people that like see our stuff every day. Like this was never ever even on my radar. Like, so it's just crazy that we're sitting here filming a podcast, like, and it started with that. We're like, oh, we were just posting fun pictures, and then it kind of just blew up, which we can talk about that more later. But
yeah, and I feel like even like when we would hit those milestones, like, oh my gosh, we hit 10,000 followers like on Instagram. I remember it blowing my mind. Like,
oh, stoked.
If I could fast forward and see where we're at today, I'd be like, are you freaking kidding me?
I wouldn't believe it. Honestly, I would laugh right in your face. I'd be like, that is not real. I used to actually keep in my phone. I still have it in my notes. Every time I would gain like 1,000 followers, I would write it down on the date and put like little emojis next to it. Like I was so stoked with every 1,000 followers that I got.
Yeah.
That like, this is kind of surreal to be sitting here like doing this.
It's so awesome. So we're so stoked. Sarah and I have been talking about doing this podcast for a year now?
At least. And it was always just, we brought it up, and then like we both wanted to do it, and then we both have 2 kids. Yeah. So life just was crazy. We were always moving around. Yeah. It was just like we could never nail it down. And then one day we were just like, we have
to do it. And so we've been planning the Fairly Odd Sisters like for months and months. Like back when we both lived in Hawaii still, like we were like knowing that we were going to do this. So stoked to be here. Yeah. That is.
Should we tell them like about the name?
You should tell them about yourself a little bit.
Oh, well.
I don't know if I even told them about myself, to be honest.
I wish I had a cooler name, like, because Lo says Lo, and I'm like, that's cool. And I'm over here like, my name is Sarah. You can call me Sarah if you want.
My real name is Lauren, so you can just like.
I don't have like a cool other name, but I'm Sarah, and I guess my influencer background, I feel like ours was kind of very similar. Like we were both living in Hawaii, and then, I was doing wedding photography, Lauren was doing videography, and then honestly, I feel like when when I decided I wanted to be an influencer, like when I realized this could really happen, it was back in 2020 when COVID hit. Because, like, we were on an island. It completely shut down. Like, nobody was allowed on the island. The rules were very, very strict. And all my weddings got canceled for, like, a year plus. Yeah. And I was very active on my Instagram, but I would post pictures of my clients and then, like, throw some pictures of me in between. But then, like, we didn't have a job. Like, Derek and I could not afford living in Hawaii. And then guys, bear with me here. Bear with me. I feel like I'm a newscaster. Anyway, we were stressed about money was basically kind of what it was. And we were just stuck in our little 1-bedroom apartment. So Derek and I kind of just started posting TikToks, and then that kind of led from one thing to the next. And then I was like, okay, I can't do weddings, so I guess we'll post pictures of ourselves. And we got tiny little jobs here and there, but honestly, it was a grind. And then our TikToks just started doing well, and that's how I'm
What's
here.
crazy is that time was just like social media. There was like a huge shift.
Yeah.
And like everyone was on their phones all of a sudden, and it was so like it changed. It went from like the Instagram photo to like everyone wants to see your videos on TikTok now.
Yeah.
And like I remember Tanner convincing me to download TikTok. I'm like, that is for literal children. Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, no, I'm serious. It's going to be the next thing. Like, he's telling me this, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I was like, sure, I'll download it. And then I was like, oh my gosh, this is fun. Yeah. And then none of our friends had it, and
I actually was so annoyed at the beginning with Tanner and Lauren. I know Derek remembers this because we kind of thought the same thing when TikTok came out. We were like, oh, that app? What? Yeah. Like, that seems like it's, for kids, kind of. Yeah. And Tanner and Lauren would come over to our house at the very beginning, and they would be like totally on their phones just scrolling on TikTok, and we were supposed to be hanging out, and they were just like, oh, look at this funny video.
But like you guys have to get this app. Like, it's actually so funny.
We were not like sold on it because we were just like, this app is stealing our best friends. That's the bottom line. It's taking our friends away. So we really were on that page of like, I don't want to be on this app kind of thing. Yeah. But then it was really kind of the only thing to do at that point. In Hawaii at one point we couldn't go to the beach. So we were like, oh, let's make fun videos in our house. Like, what else are we going to do?
Yeah. Such a crazy time. And I think that's also a reason for a lot of growth that we both had. Yeah. In our followings or whatever, it definitely started. I remember getting my first viral video on TikTok and being like, what? All of a sudden I had the same amount of followers on TikTok than I did on Instagram that I'd been working at for the last
took a few
6
months.
Years. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I was like, what's happening here?
Something's wrong. It felt like a cheat. You're like, wait, how are all these people seeing my content when that's what I've been trying to do on Instagram for all this time?
It gave, and I loved that it gave everyone just the same opportunity. It was just sick. Okay, so that's how we got started.
Yeah, that's how we got started. You'll learn how weird we are later.
Yeah. So let's talk about, we kind of wanted to dive into this podcast talking about being in-laws. We can talk about why we chose the name, the Fairly Odd Sisters. Obviously, there's the word sisters in there. If you didn't know, Sarah and I are sister-in-laws, and we married Beeston brothers. And there's a lot of confusion about the twins, the Beeston brothers. Are they the same person?
We made one too many jokes about it.
We've joked about it a little too much, I think, and so now everyone's confused. But
to clear the air. We should have told them the wrong thing.
Honestly, we should just keep saying, you don't know if we're going to tell you the truth right now, to be honest. Sarah, go for it. The Beeston brothers, what are they?
They're brothers. So Tanner is the older brother. Derek is the younger brother. Honestly, when we meet people in public, people still come up to us and they're like, you're married to the twins. I'm just like, I don't know whether to say yes or to not correct them.
It's there's so much alike in hobbies and stuff like that. They're basically twins, but they are 2 years apart. 2 years apart, but they're twins.
Okay, so secret's out. We married brothers. We married brothers.
So we thought about how could we have this sister podcast? We want it to be you're talking to your sister and kind of have that vibe. And then
we're weird.
And we're super weird. And we're,
I feel like we're trying to hold it in right now.
We're acting a little too normal right now. To be honest, I'm feeling out of my comfort zone trying to act normal.
I know.
So it'll come out as we go.
Yes.
But Sarah here likes green.
Derek, sorry, that's my train of thought. If you guys didn't know this, Derek's actually in the room and he's laughing.
You can't do that crap to me. You did some hand motion. Motion.
So Lauren is the one kind of transitioning this video, but she also has ADHD.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
so Derek just distracted her. Anyway, so honestly, the little theme of our podcast we have going on, if you've followed us on the other platforms, you kind of know that we gravitate towards certain colors. Lauren is a pink girl through and through. Since I met her, she's been bubblegums, fairy floss, cotton candy, you know, like everything is pink, even the bubblegum ice cream she eats.
That is true.
And for some reason, green, I don't know if it's growing up, but like in my family, green has always just been like a color, and it's been my favorite color.
It has been a color forever.
Sorry, that sounded stupid. We're going to be roasting each other on this thing too. Like,
in my family, green has been a color, so.
All right, I deserved that one. I deserved that. That was stupid.
No,
and I know we're not going to cut that, even though we probably should.
Your dad's favorite color is green.
My dad's favorite color is
Everything
green.
is green.
Everything is green. His whole room is green. Okay, so it was ingrained in me since I was little. Okay, yeah. I don't have a mind of my own. Maybe that's what it is. My family loves green. My older sister's favorite color was green. Like, I just gravitate towards green. So people started noticing that, like in our content that we were posting on Instagram. I have a green anklet on. She has a pink one. We've had them on for years. And they're like, oh, you guys are so green and pink. So that's kind of where the idea sparked is we're sisters. We're weird. We love pink and green. That was kind of just our themes. And it has been that way since we met.
Yeah.
So
we show up to places in the same thing, but just in like pink and green versions. And so I don't know, it just felt right. Okay, let's dive in. This podcast is going to be about in-laws because of we're in-laws.
Yeah.
And I think like typically people talk about in-laws with a negative notion. I think like a lot of people don't have great relationships with their in-laws. Mm-hmm. I think there are a lot of great ones, but I think we hear more about the negative stuff. So like us being friends,
people are shocked by that. Like when we post together and they're like, they think that we're sisters because they don't like actual sisters, like blood sisters, because they're always so surprised that we have such a good relationship being in-laws. Like, that we only met like a few years ago. Yeah.
And so it's kind of crazy because we've become such good friends. I'd call you my best friend. I'd call you my best friend. Sorry to everyone else. Sorry to everyone else. I love you so much. But I would consider my best friend.
No, but really, I consider Lauren a sister now. Like, I don't know the difference between blood and in-law. Like, I feel like we're that close.
Yeah. So. If we go on Survivor, blood versus water, you know, we're winning. I don't know what
winning
that means.
In blood.
I don't know. We're winning in blood.
Shit. Okay, keep
moving on. What does that mean?
Blood versus water was.
What is the water?
It was.
Are we
not,
water? We're water because we're not blood, but we
be blood.
Win.
Derek, I can't. Anyway. I'm sorry, I can't stop looking at Derek.
I'm sorry. Okay, so how we met is kind of, we didn't start off as best friends.
No, and honestly, I didn't think we were ever going to be best friends.
There was
from the beginning.
Yeah, there was a time when I was like, you know what, like we're not gonna see them. Like, I don't think we'll become best friends, but we'll see each other at our family
I was like,
events.
oh, Lauren's nice, and it's kind of just like the extent. I was like, oh yeah, we'll see each other at family stuff, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about first impressions. First impressions. I don't even remember meeting you when you had your first impression of me.
Yeah. Do you want me to tell this?
You can tell them.
Do you want me to tell this? Okay. This was a long time ago, and the engagement of Tanner and Lauren was probably the most stressful time for you guys, at least from what you tell me.
Oh yeah, like we never fought as much as we did than when we were engaged. Yeah, it was such a weird time.
Yeah, so this is back in 2015. Tanner and Lauren are about a few weeks away from your wedding, right?
I actually am not sure.
It was like a month before the wedding, at least, because we met in August and you got married in September, right?
So we're getting close.
Yeah, so their wedding is upon them, and
the stress is high.
The stresses are high. So I am at a friend's house with Derek and a few of our other friends, and Derek had Tanner's car. He said, hey, man, I need to come pick it up. Lauren and I are going to the gym, yada, yada, yada. I don't know the extent. So Tanner and Lauren are driving in a car together. They pull up in front of the house. And I'm like, oh my gosh, kind of nervous. Like, I get to meet the older brother and the sister, soon to be sister. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess not my sister-in-law, soon to be in-law of the family. So it was a big deal. And I hadn't met Derek's parents at this point yet either. So I was like a little scared. These were the first people in the family that I'm meeting. Mm-hmm. And so I go outside to meet them, and Lauren peels out in the car, speeds away. Tanner throws a shoe at the car as she's driving away. It obviously doesn't even get anywhere close to the car. And then Tanner is just so mad, like just wrecked. And Lauren, I didn't ever even meet you. Like I just knew you were in the car, drove away, and Tanner turns around and goes, "Can I have my keys?" And I'm standing there like with a smile, like the stupidest smile on my face, like knowing full well like I shouldn't be seeing this moment right now. Like,
why am I here for
and
this?
then I go, "Hi, I'm Sarah. Nice to meet you." And Tanner goes, "Can I have my keys?" And I was like,
he didn't even say hi to you?
He just said hi. Like, "Hi, can I have my keys?" And then Derek passed over the keys. Tanner got in the car and drove away. And I was like, "Oh, okay, so that went well. I think I shouldn't have been there." Like, that's all I remember thinking is like, "Oh, well,
yeah,
maybe we don't want to get married, Derek. This is scary."
Yeah. You hadn't even had your first date yet with Derek.
No.
Bizarre.
I hadn't had a first date, like actual real date. So
and the fight was over shoes. Forgotten shoes for the gym, just so you know. Yeah, so really, really dumb. And then
so I didn't actually meet you. I didn't actually meet you.
Yeah, that was your first impression of Tanner.
That was my first impression of Tanner, and honestly, I was scared out of my booty cheeks. Yeah. I was so scared. I was like, this guy is great. tough as nails. I don't know. And then I was just like, oh, it's just a bad day, you know? I don't know. I've never met her. Yeah. I don't actually remember like meeting you for the first time, which is crazy. That's kind of the only interaction I remember.
Yeah. I don't remember meeting you for the first time either. Like the very first.
Where were we?
Think of like first impression vibes. Like what was the vibe? First impression
vibes. I thought you were too cool for me. Because, you know, but not that you made me feel that way. I feel like naturally Lauren was just like a really cool girl. Like she had good style. Like she was confident. Like, you guys all know these things, so I don't know why I'm repeating it, but that's kind of what I felt. I was like, oh man, I feel like kind of nerdy in a way, because I didn't actually know how weird Lauren was at the time. So yeah, because we were always at family things, and I feel like your weird side didn't really come out. Yeah, and none of our weird sides really came out. So it was all just kind of like, it was like too speculation. Normal. And then I honestly like after the first few times of us like being at family things, like I kind of thought Lauren didn't like me, if I'm being honest. Like I would. Maybe I was trying too hard. I don't really know. Or I just wanted her to like me, but I don't know. I got the vibe that you like didn't like me at the beginning. Yeah. And I would tell Derek, I'm like, I don't know. Does she like me? Does she not? I think I just was second guessing if you liked me. And you can tell your like view of it.
Oh, but, yeah. I don't know. Thinking back to that, I like so Tanner's the oldest, and I was the first lady married in.
That's a tough spot
to the family. And it is a little tough. And it's, you know what? It's tough for everyone. It's a little bit hard to let go of your first child getting married, and it's hard to navigate, you know, how to we
love our in-laws.
Yeah, I love my in-laws. What we're talking about. We love our in-laws. We have such great in-laws, and I think it was just like figuring out how to like get a new person into your family. Like that's a big change. And so,
and it's their oldest. Like I'm very protective of Jack. Like I'm sure you're very protective of Ozzy. Like it's just new territory. It's just
hard. And so Tanner and I met in high school,
which is also put you behind.
So then like while we were dating in high school, it was just a little bit different. Like it was a different dating scene for us versus when Derek and Sarah met, because Derek was at the age to kind of like, okay, I can date, and you know,
like his parents kind of wanted him to have a serious girlfriend versus like
don't want
Lauren in high school being with Tanner. Like all parents are kind of like a little nervous about that.
Yeah, because we're so young, and then they wanted him to serve an LDS mission, and there's things that go into that, like, you know. And so I think like they were just
10 other videos we can make.
We can make videos about that later. But anyway, so there's a little bit of background on like what I'm kind of like coming into. So I'm a little nervous, even though I've known Tanner's family for so long. I think I was still just kind of like trying to figure out how to like gain their trust and their love. Like I knew they loved me, but it was just like an interesting like situation, you know, coming into a family. Yeah. And then I think like when Sarah was over, she's so good at like being like she's a very bubbly person. and I'm not as much of a bubbly person, I would say. Like you come in and you're just like a bubbly, like very, very angelic, like sweet girl. Sweet Sarah.
Well, I do feel like Lauren is like that once she knows you better, or she feels comfortable with you.
Yeah.
But you're very much a mirror of what you're getting.
Yes.
So
yeah. And so I think like seeing Sarah be so good with Tanner's family, like initially was like hard because I was like, oh my gosh, they totally love her more than me. Like she's already like, look at how many, like their relationship is so good and they've known each other for like a couple weeks and I've known them for years and years. And like, I feel like she's even closer to, you know, their family than I am. And so I was feeling like probably like, I don't even know what the word would be, but just like anxious about it. Like, oh my gosh, shoot. Like I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with this.
More like you just probably felt like a little insecure about
the
relationship that you had with them because I was making it look like it was so easy.
Yeah, like you and it seemed like seamless. Yeah. Like you coming in the family seemed seamless. Yes. And so
but bottom line, I really do feel like it's the timeline and the like they wanted Derek to date versus like I feel like if roles were reversed and it was switched, like I feel like we'd be in the same position.
Yeah.
Like
it's just
they wouldn't have wanted me to date Derek in high school either, like to get that close to him.
It was like a harder transition, I think. And so anyway, so that was like me going into meeting Sarah. I was so stoked to meet her and I knew she was like so nice. I think I was just like, she's probably catching vibes that I don't like her, but I'm probably sitting in the corner like so insecure, like, oh my gosh, like everyone likes her and doesn't like me. Like I thought it was like that, which I know it's not. It was just like me being
which I'm glad once we got like close enough that we could like talk about this.
Yeah.
And then like just get it all out in the air. Yeah. Which is like something I like about us is like if we're off, like I feel like we could tell each other or like talk about stuff like in the past like this that we could have like never talked about this and then it would just have been a thing that would have been like a division or just like
just something that's
something that's like still there. But now I feel like we're totally like, oh, I understand where Lauren was coming from. She understands like where I was coming from. And I honestly just feel like it boils down to timing.
Oh yeah, for sure. So. And I think at this time, like I first met her, like it was kind of like Tanner and I got married. Derek and Sarah had their very first date at our wedding. Yeah. And then Tanner and I were married, and then Derek and Sarah were in that like dating stage, and we were kind of off doing our own thing. So it was hard to kind of like get together. Like you were in your like own world at that time, and we were just like newlyweds, you know? And so it was a tricky time. Yeah. And then I feel like from there, we were just like friendly at like family functions, but we never hung out.
No.
It's cool because like I remember Tanner telling me like, I wish that I had the relationship like with my brother like you have with yours. Like he would break down to me sometimes and be like, I wish that we hung out like you guys do. Yeah. And because there was a time like where Derek and Tanner were like in different stages of life and they just hadn't ever really been friends because they were so close in age, but they were just off. They were just off of timing. Yeah. And so me and my brother are far enough apart that we had been able to be close for a longer time because, you know,
based on the relationship that Tanner and Derek have now, I would like the thought of them not being that close, like just
it freaks me out.
8 years ago.
I know.
Was like mind-boggling to me. Like they are so close now, and it's really cool too because I feel like I am just as close with Tanner, and like you're just as close with Derek. Like the four of us just get along really well, which is so rare.
It's
like
so
if
rare.
I talk to other people, like I just know that it's a very special thing, and I'm grateful for it. But
yeah. So that's a cool like idea. Like that's kind of where we like took away the pressure, and then we were like, oh my gosh,
I like you.
I like you.
I like you. You're kind of
cool. And then they moved to Hawaii, and it was like nothing. I feel like there was never a moment of like I feel like it was just okay. That's it. You moved to Hawaii, and we were just like together all the time.
We had kids. We went through crazy moments, like life-changing moments. I mean, like. When you're in Hawaii, you're 3,000 miles away from your family. Like you rely on the people that you're with out there. And like Hannah and Lauren were our family, like, instantly, and that's just, like, I mean, they were our family, so that was,
we were
don't
family.
roast me for this, please.
We were family, and then we were family, you know what I mean?
There you go, yeah.
Family,
like,
we get it.
Fast and Furious family.
Yeah.
Like that kind.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so now we're here. And so that's how the in-laws became in-laws and family became family, and now we're gonna,
that's how we got here,
you know?
And it's so wild. So anyway,
it's even more wild to me when I'm reading your guys' stories about your in-laws. My jaw was on the floor half the time reading because you guys got some crazy.
This is gonna be like
in-laws.
you're gonna make you grateful for your in-laws. I think.
Yeah,
like, maybe
this is a good thing. This is a positive space and also a negative space.
We're gonna talk about it.
We can wreck some in-laws, but also make you feel grateful for your good ones.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to start. We both, for those that don't know, we both posted on our Instagram and we asked for horror stories of like in-laws. And we got some pretty good feedback here.
Nothing positive here, only horror stories.
Only horror stories. So
if you don't want to hear them, you might as well snap out now. And we're going to react to these. So Lauren has picked a few, and I mean, there were so many that I didn't even get to.
So many.
But we're going to react to these like live. Like we're just going to read the ones that we picked.
Yep. Sarah doesn't know the ones that I've picked. So we're just going to.
We could have some of the same ones. Who knows?
Who knows? We'll get through this together. Let's dive in. What do you say, Sarah? Do you want to go first?
Oh, man. Also, please do not knock me because some of the grammar, I'm not trying to throw y'all under the bus, but I'm just saying
we're reading these straight from your mouths.
Some of the grammar might not make sense. I might have to reread it. I might have to correct. So just bear with me. Okay. Here's the first one. Are you ready?
I'm scared.
It says, my mother-in-law accused me of hacking her computer and tapping her home phone lines. Oh, and I also apparently stole her car and put 3,000 miles on it in one weekend. What else? I could go on and on. She's insane. Oh, the best one yet is she canceled our hotel room on our honeymoon night because she wanted the attention.
She canceled the hotel room on the wedding night.
On their honeymoon night.
What?
Our mother-in-law
That's weird. No,
angel.
literally sent from heaven.
No, literally.
Okay, that's wackadoo.
First of all, how can she accuse you of putting 3,000 miles?
You stole my
Did
car.
you drive to Hawaii? Excuse me? Like,
so far.
Where did you go?
And then she thought that she was recording her. She thought she was like tapping into, like putting a camera on her.
Girl, if you were doing all those things, you are like the Italian Job. I'm sorry. That is unbelievable.
Okay, well, let me find one that is good.
Why am I scared? I'm scared for what you're going to say.
Okay, this one is so bad, Sarah. This is so bad.
So it makes my car one look like stinky cheese?
I don't know.
What you're saying?
I think this might be worse.
Okay.
My mother-in-law
literally can't even get the words out.
Announced our first pregnancy on social media before we did. When we called her out, she completely denied it and started crying, saying something about how we never liked her. Then she announced his name and birth on social media before we did. She was visiting at the hospital and my husband told her very clearly not to post anything because we wanted to be the first ones to announce all the details. Not 5 minutes after she left, she posted.
5 minutes?
My husband called her immediately and she said she didn't know how to delete things from social media.
Okay, so I'm like speechless over here because 5 minutes, your brain forgot in 5 minutes. No, she didn't. That was intentional.
And then because then you then can say, I will delete this immediately, or like tell me how to delete this. Not sorry, I don't know how to delete things. So what's done is done. She plays
the baby boomer card of not girl. If you're going to post 5 minutes after, you know how to delete.
You know how to delete.
I'm sorry.
You know how to post. You know how to delete.
You don't mess around with the baby post, man.
I would be so sad.
That grandma wanting the fame and glory. Honestly, that's what I gotta say about that. She wanted all her friends to know.
She did.
Which is good. I mean, you should want your friends to know.
But you should also give your kids, the time and space they need to like do the first announcement.
Also, and I could see how I have a frog in my throat. Sorry, guys, I was sick for a little bit. I could see how if they maybe didn't bring it up or hadn't said anything about it, like that was something a grandma would totally do.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was,
the fact that he like brought it up and was like, Mom, please don't post anything. We're going to do a post. So just wait for us.
Completely.
Boom, in the car, she's like,
I just picture a little evil face on her and she's like, like in the car. I can't
imagine.
Okay, that one's bad.
Like straight to the car, straight to the post. You know what I mean?
Wow. Why do I feel like, honestly, 80% of these submissions are mother-in-law stories?
They are.
This is just going to remind us for when our kids get married.
We can't be crazy.
No.
Don't get crazy.
They're like 90% of the time mother-in-law stories. Mm-hmm. This one is a mother-in-law story.
Okay, let's hear it.
Says, my mother-in-law called me a whore before she even met me. Literally when my now husband called and told her he had a girlfriend. Since then, she has called me bipolar and tried to split my husband and I up, saying blood is thicker than water.
Blood versus water, folks.
Just talking about this. So take out the trash. Blood is thicker than water, so take out the trash. She said this last one happened while we were visiting them and I was staying in their house.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, girl, I would have booked a hotel.
I'm so sorry.
I would have booked a hotel that second. Get me out of this.
What's scary is I feel like it's like mamas to their sons. Yes. A lot of like mamas to their sons.
The issue? Am I going to be the problem?
Scared for you.
I'm scared.
No, you're going to be a great mother-in-law. Okay.
But also, who the crap calls them a whore before they've even met? That lady had no intention of having a good relationship from the beginning.
That's not even trying.
No.
That's messed up.
Just messed up. Plain and simple.
Plain and simple. I think, yeah. That's
if you're listening, Nancy, whoever did that, shame. Shame on you.
Okay. Okay.
Also, the silent giggling laughters is like us trying to hold in, like not having full-on laugh attacks.
Yeah. There's probably going to be one that happens where I can't control it, but we're keeping it on lock today. Yeah. We're keeping it on lock.
Give me a good one.
So I have a couple that are kind of like this, like in this genre. Oh gosh. So maybe I'll read you a couple of them.
Okay, yeah, just like bust out a few.
Okay, so this one says, my mother-in-law had friends texting her to see if she was okay while she was out celebrating our new engagement. So she found out that the mom,
her friends are checking up to make sure she's okay.
Her friends were checking in. Are you okay?
Her son got engaged.
Exactly. So just like a son, like
this is really freaking me out, man.
At my bachelorette weekend, my now sister-in-law told me their mother, my now mother-in-law, was grieving mine and my husband's marriage.
I'm sorry, grieving? That word? Grieving. That should be used when a pet dies, when a person dies.
You should be celebrating. Grieving.
I'm so sorry for your loss. What? No.
It's too much.
Excuse you, that's jail time.
It's jail.
Jail time.
Straight to jail.
Okay.
Done.
Wow. Okay, this is a nice short and sweet. I'll read you two and then we can talk about both of them. Okay, so this one first says, sister-in-law announced that she was pregnant at my wedding in front of everybody. They're actually very separate, so maybe we should just dive into that one first.
I'm so against that.
Yes.
I am so against that.
I'm sorry, whose day is it? It's the bride and the groom's. So you take your little, just for one day,
you can wait.
I'm sorry. I know you probably think the whole family's together and this is the time, but it's not the time. It's never the time.
It's not the time. It's not the time.
That's it.
Let them have their day that they've been planning and planning.
That's look at me.
You're going to be pregnant for 9 months, so you have time. You have time to tell them.
Oh, trust me. You're going to realize how long that 9 months really is, and you'll find a time.
It's not right to do that. Okay.
Okay, the next one.
Big no.
This one says, these are both sister-in-law, which is kind of funny. My sister-in-law put nails under our tires so that when we drove away, all 4 tires got nails in them just because her brother and I wouldn't take her with us to her friend's house.
No. Like an evil little sister prank?
I'm sorry. This sounds like that has to be a teenager, right? I hope this was a teenager.
Yeah. Like it sounds like a little sister prank.
All 4 tires?
That's a little much.
This woman obviously has never probably owned a car in her life.
That's a lot of money to
that
replace
that
a
ain't
tire.
nice. That is not nice.
All right, I'm gonna dive in straight to a juicy one. Oh dear. All right, this is actually crazy. Like actually crazy.
I don't know if I'm prepared for this, but
I don't know about this. My monster-in-law tried to poison me with a glass of bleach to force a miscarriage. It didn't work, thankfully. I was having a coughing fit and needed some water. She gave me a glass of clear liquid and I just chugged it. I ended up vomiting it up, just burned my throat. Luckily, I didn't swallow too much of it. She said she must have poured it by accident instead of getting water from the tap. That's murder.
I think you should probably end on that one. I don't think
that.
I don't think it gets more. I was kind of like, oh,
that's
dang,
actual jail time.
You know, I was a little bit like, why'd she call her monster-in-law? Like, that's kind of rude right off the bat. No, monster lady. Like, that's kind. That's a kind way to put that. She should be in jail.
Actually lock her up.
This whole time we're like, jail time. No, jail time. The baby. Okay, I'm sorry. If they even like still see them, take your kid far away. Yeah, like take scary. That bleach. I accidentally poured it. I can't with that.
It's crazy.
I really hope that that's not a real story, honestly. But
hope that's made up.
I don't even
for you sending that in. I'm so sorry. That is literally buck wild. Get so far away.
Yeah,
get so far away.
I'm honestly like my jaw dropped. Okay, well now all of mine are gonna look really, really stupid. Thanks, Lo.
I literally couldn't believe that. I was just like, okay. Should I ramp it up to like a more funny one so that we can get back to normalcy?
I kind of have a funny one.
Okay, go for it.
All right. My mother-in-law has a collage of my husband's wedding pictures from his previous marriage in her hallway. Oh, and I was like, maybe it just happened. It was about 15 years ago and lasted less than 6 months.
The way I would rip that off the wall and throw that in the freaking driveway and run it over 100 times.
The way that I would chuck that out on the driveway, stomp on it.
I think I would
poop on it at that point.
I would immediately punch it with my fist in front of the mom.
Not even just like, it's a collage. Like, she had to put time into that, and it's been 15 years.
Take that down. Take that down, sweetie.
And the fact that it lasted 6 months.
Please, for the love, can you rip that off the wall? Like, for all of everyone and all of us. Do it for us.
Okay, I honestly just want to know, like, maybe we can follow up on this in the next, but I want to know, like, if you've said something to her. Like,
I know.
Hey, I'm
like,
his
tell
wife.
like, why doesn't the husband say, like, Mom, take that down?
Yeah, honestly,
where's your husband at?
This is kind of on the husband.
Where's your
let's
husband
switch
at?
Gears. Let's switch. This is not your fault.
You don't have responsibility in this.
This is not your fault.
Sarah.
I'm sorry. I'm keeping it in. Reining it.
This is all on the husband at this point.
Yeah, that husband kind of needs to man up and say, "Hey, Mom. First of all, what doesn't that make him feel uncomfortable? Like, I know it makes her feel uncomfortable, but the husband, like, hey, my ex has been on your wall for 15 years.
I'm scared.
Okay,
I'm scared.
Well,
I'm scared.
That one made me laugh, honestly.
Okay. This one actually made me cry. I had a little tear come down my face.
Like laugh cry or cry?
Because it was so funny and bizarre.
Good.
Bizarre.
Okay. Oh, no.
I'm so excited to tell you.
Oh, no.
Okay. At my first Christmas with my now husband, then boyfriend. So they're not married yet. Okay.
Okay.
his mom, my mother-in-law, was talking to me, and she was sort of going on and on, repeating herself a lot. So I sort of started looking around for an out. She must have noticed my attention fade because she reached out. You're not going to know what's coming next.
No, I honestly don't. What is she reaching for?
She reached out
Not
and
her boobs.
honked my boob
No.
to get my attention and goes, "Hey," while honking my boob. I cannot imagine. Hey, you.
Not even related. They're not even married yet. No. At first I was like, oh my gosh, did she grab her chin? And then when I realized that you couldn't stop laughing, I was like, it has to be the boob. It has to be the boobs. No.
She said, my husband swooped in and saved me, thank goodness, and now it's just something we all laugh about, and I'll never forget. So they're over it at this
least
point.
they can laugh about it, but
I can't imagine getting honked by my mother-in-law before we're even married, and
I can't imagine getting honked now. What are we talking about? Even before, after, ever, like,
why is that like the best thing in the world also at the same time?
Also, did she say honked?
She said honked my boob.
I can't move on from this one. This is just the picture of me just like an older lady going honk.
She went like this. She went, "Hey." Like you're like
doesn't try any normal methods. Like just doesn't even say like, "Hey, are you listening?" Like look, or hey, even
like,
that tilt the face, a nice pat on the cheek. Like there are so
why
many.
was first instinct to honk the boobs?
You know what? I bet her love language is physical touch. She's got to be a physical touch girl.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, well that one was good.
It's too good.
It's making my eyes sting.
I like that one because it seems like they're friends now, so it just is like a funny story they can talk about.
This one's not too crazy. I mean, it is crazy, but it's not like, like Bleach for the baby crazy, like we were just talking about. So this one is, my sister-in-law and I were engaged at the same time. Our in-laws suggested a double wedding or else that they wouldn't attend ours. So I agreed. Sister-in-law kept asking my husband and I for our input because it was our day too, and then she kept turning down every idea and everything that we wanted or suggested. In the end, it was her wedding, and we spent money on a wedding that was supposed to be for us, both of us, and it wasn't. I forever hate my wedding to this day, and I resent my in-laws for it.
I can't.
A double wedding? Or they won't come?
I don't understand that.
I'm so sorry for you, honestly.
That
you need
sucks.
a redo wedding.
Yeah.
Lauren and I will attend
Don't invite them.
If you do another wedding, we'll fly out. We'll come.
Don't invite them.
Don't invite them.
They don't get to come.
They don't need to be there. So,
That's
threatening like that is, yeah.
I'm scared for that.
Wow. Double wedding. Can you imagine being like, we're getting married, but you're also not even that close to your in-laws, and you're getting married at the same time?
No.
The same day. Mm-mm. People don't know who to congratulate?
No. That's so terrible. Mm-hmm. That sounds like the worst thing ever.
That's manipulation.
It's bad enough to have like a double birthday. You know what I mean?
So I would know
like,
a little something about
Sarah.
that. My brother and I share a birthday. So
yeah. And Maddie and Cole, I think their situation sucks.
Yeah. Our friends are married and they have the same birthday.
Yeah, same day. And so it's like you can't really like
celebrate the other person because you're just like, happy birthday to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, it's worse with the spouse. Me and my brother, it's like, When we were growing up, we always shared a birthday.
Yeah,
but that's a wedding.
A wedding?
That's next level.
Gosh, it's one day. Come on
now.
Okay. Well, should we do one more? What do you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got to get a fan in here.
Oh.
It's roasting.
This one is so bad.
Okay.
Not like as bad as the other ones I've said, to be honest, but
I'm sorry, nothing tops the bleach, baby.
Nothing will top that. That's whack.
Yeah.
Actually whack. Okay. This one is, my fiance was previously engaged. His mother invited the woman who he was previously engaged to his sister's bridal shower and not me. Then I found out on social media.
I'm sorry if you hear my toddler in the background.
No, that
didn't invite her, invited the ex.
Invited the ex person who's not just an ex-girlfriend, ex-engagement. Previously engaged to. Invited her.
Well, I think we know who the mother's favorite is.
That is so haunting.
That's scarring. Yeah, I think if I was the girl, I would never ever think that my mother-in-law would ever like me.
Oh, that is like so sad. And to not invite her?
Wow. Just not even an invite.
That's not nice.
Okay, wow. That's just shocking.
Mm-mm.
All right. This one's just weird. So weird. I got engaged in 2017 on the 7th of December. My mother-in-law asked me to take off my ring so she could try it on. I just laughed and said no and kind of made it light. I needed it resized. When my partner went to pick it up, she was there with him and was wearing it. I told him it was too big and that it was special and it was my ring, and I didn't want anyone else really wearing it. My mother-in-law got the exact same ring on Christmas Day, took a photo. Wait, she got the exact same ring. Oh, frick. She got the exact same ring on Christmas Day and took a photo, went to the same shop, and told the father-in-law that that's what she wanted to replace her. Oh, okay, I see what she's trying to say. So she took a picture of her ring, went to the shop with her husband, and said, "This is the ring that I want." And then she went and got that to replace her wedding ring. So she got the same ring. And it says it bugged me so bad, and I haven't worn my wedding ring since. Still haven't gotten a replacement. It's such a long history, but it really stuck with me.
Whoa. That's a weird one. It's like, thank you for thinking my ring is great, but like...
replaces her wedding ring with her ring.
Her ring.
That's next level. That's just really weird. Like bizarre.
That's really weird.
And I don't blame her for not...
You should just know to not do that.
Yeah. I don't know. Would you still wear the ring though? Like, would you wear it?
Oh, man, I think I would, but...
Yeah. But I don't blame you for not,
no,
but like...
But that's so weird. It's just a really weird thing that you don't think you'd have to face.
And then it kind of just is in your face all the time. You go to their house, she's wearing your ring. Like, you go anywhere with her, she's wearing your ring.
I can totally see why she wouldn't want to wear it.
It would bug me every time I saw them.
That's so weird.
Wow. Anyway.
That's really weird.
All right, this is the last one. We're going to end on this.
Yeah.
This one kind of hits home because it's about children.
Oh, no.
Okay, it says, left my 18-month-old with her grandparents while my husband and I went to get a new phone. We were gone 2 hours tops. We came home and found empty wine glasses and shot glasses all in the sink. My toddler was running around the house, and my in-laws were asleep on the couch. Needless to say, they don't babysit anymore.
Stop.
Okay.
Take one night off, maybe. Of the shots.
I'd have to say those grandparents maybe need to take a little visit to Dr. Phil. Like, that's...
I think Dr. Phil can help you.
That's not normal. If you can't go 2 hours and babysit your 18-month-old. It's not like we're even talking
that's like a very needy age.
That is a needy age. Like, so many things could have happened.
Oh my gosh.
That stresses me out.
Thinking is so
that
sad.
even happened. And I'm glad your kid's okay.
Asleep, passed out
on the couch.
No. That's so scary.
Yeah.
Oof. Okay, well,
if there's one thing I know, I am very grateful for all of my in-laws.
Oh my gosh, so grateful.
At this point in time,
couldn't have one complaint.
No.
Couldn't.
They're amazing.
Wow. That was a trip. Thank you for sending those in.
When we say that we got like over 500 plus messages about your in-law stories, not even kidding. There were probably some even worse ones that we couldn't even get to, but yeah. I'm appalled by some of these.
Forever and always, the boob honk will be my fave.
The boob honk will fave.
It will fave.
Lauren loves a good boob honk.
I love a good boob honk. That is funny.
Now I'm fearing that now the next few times I see Lauren, I'm gonna get a nice little surprise honk.
Hey, pay attention. Anytime anybody strays,
anyone's not
expect
listening,
a honk.
So what do we do with the boys? No, not going there. Okay, cut it. Next. All right. Well, this was really fun.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So should we close it out?
We had at least I had an amazing time. I hope Lauren.
This was so fun.
Lauren Lowe. Excuse me. Her real name's Lauren.
Don't call me that.
Lauren. We had a really fun time. We're so glad. We're stoked that we finally got to do this.
So happy.
Honestly, I feel like this is maybe going to be my favorite form of social media from going on out.
This is exciting. This is a new chapter for us.
The fact that we just get to like girl chat up here, this is perfect.
I love it.
We're going to have some awesome episodes. Our hope is that we can get on here and do an episode every week. Mm-hmm. We are going to be traveling around, but we're going to do our best to wherever we're at.
Always be here.
I'll be there for you.
There for me too.
Lauren, actually, I can't harmonize, and Lauren's a great singer, and I've realized that every time I harmonize, I just try and go to the same note as her, and it just never. It's never a thing. Anyway, back on track. We are just hoping to get one out every week if we can. Hopefully, you guys will be here with us and we're doing it. We have some fun things to talk about because we are married to brothers. And so you guys are going to have to stay tuned for some of those episodes. We might even have them on the pod at some point. The brothers takeover.
Whoa.
But honestly, this has been so fun. Glad we could be doing this.
So stoked.
If you're listening, thanks for listening to our first ever
podcast.
I knew she was going to start singing again. The Fairly Odd Sisters. And honestly, you guys, just consider us your big sisters, your little sisters, any kind of sister. We will be your friend.
Your sis.
We will be whatever you need us to be. So,
and we're going to be here for you. So be there for us.
She's going to start singing again. She's going to start singing again. Okay, let's end this right now. Do we say bye on these things? I actually don't even know.
I think so.
All right. Well, we love you guys. See you next week. Love you guys.
We'll see you later. Damn it.
Roasted. I don't even have to say anything. I don't even have to say. I'm just going to cut it.
That's it.
Bye, guys.
Bye.